Fourth down for the Lions nickel package.
All right, fourth down for the nickel package. Fourth question. A little bit of a peek into the draft nickel package. Will the Lions, I'm going to change this a little bit because they don't have a fourth round pick. Will the Lions draft a cornerback in the first 3 rounds of the NFL draft?
Yeah, no question. Especially with those. Now, you can make the case, I think, if they just held their own draft picks, their own draft capital, then maybe you could make the case to say no. But D-Mac, with all these picks that they have, they're gonna take a cornerback because, look, the bountiful free agent class that addressed the defensive secondary is cool and everything like that. But next year, there's one cornerback under contract for next year, D-Mac. So yes, they're gonna address it.
No, absolutely, and I think that what they did with Akuda proves it. Right, and so it's just where does Brad Holmes decide that falls in? Who does he want to take? So you're gonna get a good player. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple that the cornerbacks that he likes, maybe even later in the draft. So you'd expect for that reason, not only getting rid of Akuda, the guys that are only on 1-year deals and stuff, that he's gonna grab at least 2 in the draft. Where? I don't know.
Yeah, and I know. Spemo, your heart's going to be broken. Can I interest you in Emmanuel Forbes at 18?
I like Emmanuel Forbes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're in the same family.
He's a little light, like literally, like he's like 170 pounds, but I'm not worried about that. He can put on some weight. He's got great ball skills.
Right here, right now, they're going to take one at 18?
Probably.
I think that because of the talent, right, you can get a really good, like, we consider a starter a kid that you can put in that you'd have under that contract that you wouldn't mind. 18's probably the place that if they're going to take it, that we'd all accept it, right? So goes according as planned. You get Carter, you get Anderson, at 6, and then one of who's going to drop to you there. Like I like a guy like a Joey Porter Jr., somebody there's a bunch of cornerbacks that are projected, mid first round, stuff like this. That somebody good's going to fall there, and writing's on the wall. Like I said, because of the Akuda deal, Neal, because of what you brought up in the draft capital, the financials moving forward, that makes sense because then pretty much that's your blue chipper, correct?
Yeah. WoodwardSports.com chat thread DNCENT says hopefully Joey Porter falls to 18, and I'm litty. I'm not big. I'm not big on Big Ten cornerbacks, man. When are they tested? Who do they perform against?
I agree with that to some extent.
I like pedigree.
Yeah, the pedigree, the lineage is good too.
Pedigree's always which there's something to it. I think you watch because it's some sort of mentality of how to be a professional, because as if your kid growing up around, and we see it a lot, you related to it in the NHL with a lot of kids that come up and play, but there's something that we see that it's just way to be able to adopt. To your point, Neal, yes, usually, but I think pedigree overcomes that.
And I know and I feel the same way about people from Iowa, guys from Iowa. And Braylon Edwards, by the way.
Me and Braylon talked about that in the
That was a fire clip, by the way.
Yeah.
Go to WoodwardSports.com social channels. Get Braylon Edwards' thoughts on defensive players from Iowa.
Yeah, me and Braylon were in the back. We're saying if it's not a cornerback or a tight end out of Iowa, I'm not drafting it.
100%.
Yeah.
That's where I am, and everyone's going to lose their mind if we got an Iowa linebacker and a Penn State corner. Okay, cool. I've seen that play out before in the college football playoff.
Monty Omoarie was a Penn State corner.
That was a good 4 games he had.
But also there have been very good cornerbacks to come out of the Big Ten, so it's hit or miss. But I'm with you on that. I'm not in love with Big Ten corners either. They don't really get tested too much. That's why I like Christian Gonzalez so much, because he's in a league where they throw the ball 40 times a game.
That's it.
But again, at 18, will he be there?
Probably not. No.
Right. That's that. So again, maneuverability, because you just don't know what Brad Holmes is going to do. Even the availability to move up or move back and accumulate more picks and drop in to get the guy he wants.
No question. Brandon Katz's having a bad day today in the WoodwardSports.com chat. That's a dumb take. Iowa has produced many top offensive linemen. Yeah.
Riley Reif.
Didn't say anything about that either, did we? Talk about people that play defense in the Big Ten. Thank you for listening.
Sorry, he just yells at himself sometimes. All right, fifth question. Fifth down of the Lions nickel package. Over under total touchdowns for Jared Goff, 34.5.
I think that's a pretty good number. If you trying to think about it, it's over 2 a game. That's a good number, Spenny.
Thank you.
I could be swayed on either side. If look, when you do these bets, theoretically these bets, you like to root for points. You want action. So I would bet on the over, I guess, but I wouldn't love it.
Yeah.
So in that saying, I was going to ask you the question: who has more touchdowns, David Montgomery on the ground, or James Williams in the air? Because if I think
that'll be Montgomery.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm going under.
You're going under based on that.
Yeah.
Because how many?
But he's going to be around 30, 31, 32,
Yeah.
33. He's right. Like your argument is right there. I'm just going. Well, if Montgomery gets, but again,
You're doing the old Neal Ruhl reverse engineer on it, right? Work backwards.
I'm not like Brandon Katz. I do listen to you.
How many do you have last year?
27.
Really?
Or 29? 29.
29.
But
really?
you look at also Jamal Williams at 17 from right there. So how many of those didn't get in? And like it's right there. The number you said.
That's where you know what? And now I'm going to change it and go under because that's what cost him. It's like a reverse Barry Sanders effect.
Your vote was in. We already counted.
It's like a reverse Barry Sanders effect.
How about this one? Over under 0.5 rushing touchdowns for Jared Goff this year.
It's like the Super Bowl bet.
Yeah.
I gotta take. You gotta take the over just on odds, right?
Did he have any last year?
No.
Yeah, I don't think he will.
You think he sneak one?
He's had multiple in his career before,
right?
But he didn't have one last year.
No, but you have David Montgomery and Penei Sewell.
But I gotta think maybe a bad snap and then he just audible. I gotta go over to see it.
I would go over as well. I think he sneaks one in.
Yeah. Papa E says if Jamal didn't run in 17, he would have had 40. And yeah, I'm with you on that. It's just for me, and this is what I like about Dan Campbell. This is what I begged for a long time for teams to do, where they say, hey, we're going behind Penei Sewell or Taylor Decker, whoever we're going to go behind, and we're punching it in. And if we get stopped on first down, guess what we're going to do on second down? We're going to do it again. And then when Jamal Williams, and by the way, Jamal Williams did get stopped a lot.
Yeah, he did.
I will say this. Here's a bonus one.
He kind of blew that Dallas game. It was one-score game in the fourth quarter. He fumbled on the goal line.
Exactly. Here's a little bonus one, and I'm curious to get your guys' take on this one. From inside the 3, conversion percentage on touchdown runs. Will Montgomery be higher or lower than Jamal Williams?
Much higher.
Much higher.
Yeah.
Anybody disagree with that? You crunched up your face, Sam Flannel.
I think it'll be around the same.
See, I think it'll be much higher too.
I mean, I think David Montgomery is a better back, but I think as a goal line back, you can't discredit what Jamal Williams did. Obviously, he was a bit of a goal line touchdown merchant, but
a bit.
Yeah, actually, quite a bit. And I'm not one to defend Jamal Williams to the high heavens, but I think that at least inside the goal line, he was effective.
Yeah, so I am with that. I'm really excited for David Montgomery.
I think the question is Montgomery punches. You won't see the 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 5. You're gonna see 3, 7, 8, 2, 4.
14,
you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
you get at the 3-yard line.
Yeah.
I'm expecting with the line and him to punch it in on a more consistent than Jamal Williams. Because if you go back, like Spenny said, that even the Dallas game, but they consistently ran and they punched it up, right? Half a yard, inching it. How many times do you remember last year going 3rd down and here we go again? Come on, guys. Like we're all like, you got to get in. Then they get in and we forget.
Yeah, it's just, Peaceful Tim says Jamal always got 3 to 4 yards. That's his best asset. I think next year with David Montgomery, you know what you're going to learn? How good this offensive line is.
Yeah.
You got to remember, right? David Montgomery, and this stat is the one that I'm so intrigued with, had the most broke tackles in the backfield, right? Which means this guy can shake. It means it takes more than one guy to bring him down. It takes 2 and 3 guys to get him down. So imagine if we have the offensive line that we have, that he can get to that next level, or they push forward what we want, so he's not even getting contact for a yard or 2 yards or something like that. He runs through guys, right? It's just keeping him available. That's all it is.
No question.